see the anger, you see the rage, you see the heart of the Lord, where he says, what did I do? Like, I was good to you. I was there when nobody else was. I was there. I was taking care of you. I was good. Why did you not love me? He says, what fault did your fathers find in me that they strayed so far from me? They followed worthless idols and became worthless themselves. Let me tell you something. When you go through a relationship and that person that you at one time loved, that you at one time would have done anything to. Mary J. Blige wrote the first stanza of her song, Not Gonna Cry. She says, while all the time that I was loving you, you were busy loving yourself, I would stop breathing if you asked me to. Now you're busy loving someone else. So she's talking about the depth of her love, what she felt, and so you can love somebody so much, and something that hurtful would take you from loving them to hating them, to being enraged, to wanting to break them, tell them a new behind, as my husband would say. And that, when he said that they followed worthless items, they followed behind things that could not benefit them, things that would not grow them, things that would not, people, places, and things that would not add any value to the worthless idols was what they followed, and they became worthless themselves. And that part would be, as I consider this as the Jacob in me, or the fleshly man in me considers this, that would be that the way you look at that person now that you're in that relationship in, that when you had these relationship issues, you no longer value them. You can no longer trust them. And where the trust is broken, there is no value. You begin to hate them. You begin to test them. And that's where you see these marriages begin to break apart. Something happened where that one, where you started off in this loving relationship, like what we read in the first couple of verses, God said, I remember the devotion of your youth, how as a bride you loved me and followed me through the desert and through a land not sown. That love that you had at first, which is chapter 2, verse 2, now changes to the point that that person that you once loved is now worthless. You worthless to me. Why am I even with you? So that's what he was saying there. And then he was saying, like, out of all that I've done for you, which goes back to Mary J. Blige's song, she said, I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week, was at the job when no one else was there helping you get on your feet. God said, they didn't even ask, where is the Lord who brought us up out of Egypt? He said, I brought you out of Egypt after all that I did for you. He said, and led us through the barren wilderness, through a land of deserts and rifts, a land of drought and darkness, a land where no one travels and no one lives. I brought you through that. He said, I brought you into a fertile land to eat its fruit and rich produce, but you came and defiled my land. She said, Mary J. Blige wrote, she said, through sickness and health to death do us part. Those are the words that we said from our hearts. So now when you say you're leaving me, I don't get that part. She said, I don't get that part. He said, God said, I brought you into a fertile land. This is verse 7, Jeremiah chapter 2. I brought you into a fertile land to eat its fruit and rich produce, but you came and defiled my land and made my inheritance detestable. Oh my gosh. I only got like 3 more minutes, so I definitely want to wrap this up. But like, he was upset. Verse 8, he says, the priest did not ask, where's the Lord? That's the priesthood. He said, the priest did not ask, where's the Lord? Those who deal with the law did not know me. That would be the judicial, the law, the judicial system, your police officers, and so forth and so on. It says, he says, those who deal with the law did not know me. It next says the leaders. Now we're talking about governments because remember the kingship was on Judah. So he says the leaders rebelled against me. And then you got the prophets. The prophets prophesied by Baal, following worthless idols. Therefore, I bring charges against you. Now, when we're talking about charges, we're talking about divorce papers. Okay, now we're drawing up some papers. Now we're going to make this legal because you think I'm playing with you. We're going to put some paper on this. Y'all know how we do. Remember, God said, hear the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, all you clans of the house of Israel. So he's telling us spiritual matters, but in order to understand it, he's calling Jacob for, flesh. Come on, catch this. He says, therefore I bring charges against you again, declares the Lord, and I will bring charges against your children's children. So what they did affects us, just like what we do today affects our children's children or our grandchildren. We're talking some serious relationship issues, and I'm going to stop right here for right now, and I look forward to coming back to you later with more from Jeremiah chapter 2.